Good morning, everyone. We will call this meeting to order. We'd like to recognize that this meeting is being held on the traditional unceded territory of the Lillooet Nation, and we're grateful to be here. Could I have someone please move approval of the committee of the whole agenda, moved by Director Morton, seconded by Director Richmond. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. And now we're on regional moment, the District of Lillooet. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. So I chose to do it on Lillooet Wildlife. We don't have any new builds, but by the time I do the next regional moment, I expect that we will. So the first slide. So this bear was located up in the Heights by our senior secondary school and our elementary school. Whether it was the same or a different bear, it was just outside the hospital doors. So I have a picture of it actually just going up. So the hospital doors are here. And then there's a little roundabout and going right up the hill to where both schools are, was this bear. So while we have many black bears killed over the past years, it remains an ongoing issue in our community. Next slide, please. This little guy was Director Birch Jones and pulled over on our way home just outside of Lillooet from an SLRD meeting to snap this rather close encounter. The black bears seem to have little fear of humans and can be seen almost anywhere. Lillooet has spent $25,000 in garbage cans last year and will continue to change out our current garbage cans to get bear safe cans. We have 40 cans just on our main street, and I mean, our main street is, while it's quite long, I mean, it costs a lot for our community to continue to change these out. Next slide, please. So raccoons, so while they're one of our cutest creatures around, some residents don't feel the same. This was at our back sliding glass door. Wanting in and mad that we were on the inside, not letting it. Next slide, please. And this is what a raccoon will do. So while I was going door to door a couple of years ago, I was asked to look at a resident's front yard, and this was it. Their property was on the bank just above the Fraser River and had been dug up by raccoons. So they asked me what I planned to do about the raccoon. I said that I would have a stern talking with them. Next slide, please. Salmon. So the salmon runs have taken a beating from nature itself, and whether it be a bad run from a Chilcotin landslide or an atmospheric issue, the Scotland have felt a significant impact on their cultural foods. Next slide, please. On a good year, the Stoutland makes swim by hanging the salmon on the fish racks down by the Fraser River. So a friend of ours gave us two. So I brought two just to pass around. So that's what it looks like. It's this one's the fish girl.
So just to pass around, not to like share over lunch?
No, if you want it, yeah, you can. But this one's really dried out, but it takes a lot of work when they are doing that. And down by the Fraser River, that's what it's like, with their blue tarps and everything. And it's quite an experience to look at it and to really see how they do it. And they're so proud of it. My husband loves it.
Kids love to chew on this.
They really do. Yeah.
Leave it for lunch.
It is an acquired taste.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, they like it or you hate it.
That's right. Next slide, please. So sturgeon, another controversial issue is sturgeon fishing, and companies increasing the tourism of sturgeon fishing in the Fraser River. So many boats are on the river in the summer times daily, catching some of the largest sturgeon around. It really promotes our tourism in our community, supports sale of sporting goods, restaurants, hotels, and more. One of the most famous sturgeon pictured here is called Pig Nose. He gets caught multiple times over, is estimated at 100 years old, And he'll be missed when he's gone. Sturgeon are among the most primitive fish species still in existence, earning them the nickname of living fossils.
It's crazy.
Isn't it crazy? He's huge.
How much does he weigh?
I don't know actually how much he weighs, but
Hundreds
of monsters.
yeah, he's a monster. Yeah, and he does. He gets
Wow.
caught multiple times.
Is he slowing down?
I don't know. I don't know if he just hangs out there or what, but he's definitely
me.
by his nose and that's why they call him. Yeah.
You should feed them the raccoons.
Yeah.
Could be a show.
Next slide, please. So this is Frank and I, a few years back, fishing off the banks in Lillooet. It was quite the debate for about, at least an hour as to whether the fish was coming to shore or I was going swimming. And so that's when Frank took over. He wasn't gonna chance losing the rod. Me maybe, but not the rod. He's like, give me that. I couldn't hold on. It was incredible, the strength. Next slide, please. So when we got it in, that's how big it was. It was like, I think it was around or something. And so Frank gently turned it over and to show me the mouth and how sturgeon sucks up food like through a vacuum process from the bottom of the river. They're bottom feeders. They have no teeth. They don't rely on their eyesight, but they rely on their 4 sensory barbels or 5,000 electroreceptors to catch and eat shellfish, crustaceans, small fish. And a larger sturgeon can eat a salmon whole. The food breaks down in their stomachs, as again, they don't have any teeth. So really interesting. Okay, next slide, please. Couldn't do this one without doing this piece. So the back houses on the old bridge, and while I tried to find the houses, I could not locate them, but we all know they are there. Next slide, please. In 2003, the District of Lillooet and the Naturalist Society made the old bridge bat friendly. And the houses were installed as part of the restoration project. A tidbit, one bat can consume up to 650 mosquitoes per hour, and 13 of the 16 species are found in Lillooet area, which ironically, we don't have a lot of mosquitoes, so perhaps that is why. But I'm gonna ask my counterpart, Director Birch Jones, because she is the
Bat
bat.
questions answered, yes?
Yes.
I brought our bat checklist along, and you're right, 13 of the 16 BC species. This is what we have in Lillooet. And it's incredible, the biodiversity of the bats, but even more so the birds. I think the last count was 255 species, which is pretty high for confirmed. With the different habitats, lots of different kinds of birds.
There's that many types of bats.
No, really, Hamilton's probably similar.
So
I know
what
most
do
of
you
them
do
pretty
for
common.
experts? What's a bad expert called?
Idiot.
Hang on, go.
Bruce Wayne.
Or the big brown bat you can go in.
And that's what those probably are. I was looking at those guys.
Those are big, yeah.
Those are pretty solid bats, yeah.
So what's the geographical area for your 255 birds?
It's actually our Christmas count bird birds circle, so it's like 10 kilometer. I think it's 12 kilometer
From-
radius circle from actually the bridge that goes over
Yep.
the Seton there. It's-
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, next slide, please. So these deer, this was right outside our front yard there. While deer can harm our gardens, the deer population over the past decade has increased a lot, whether that's from the wolves driving them down or forest fires and the lack of food that has brought them to town or just overpopulation. It's become a significant issue, which has forced council to look at deer fences and electric fences and changing our bylaws and just seeing what we can do to have people preserve their gardens and because they're everywhere. They're everywhere. It's kind of like Jumanji as you're going to work in the morning. So next slide, please. And this is the last slide. I just thought I'd put this one in because this was taken last year, a couple doors down from us. And this one, you know, with people putting Christmas lights and everything, it can pose a significant harm to them. This happened, yeah, it was last year. They had the bottom of the tree wrapped in Christmas lights and this little buck did his rub against the tree and he got tangled up. So he's gonna definitely have issues as he tries to navigate through the bushes and trails. It's something I never thought about, so I felt that this picture was essential to end this presentation, being that Christmas is around the corner. Please don't wrap your tree
That,
lights at the bottom.
those lights must have been left on the tree all year round. That
Likely,
deer,
yeah.
that deer's got velvet on, so that's like
Yeah.
in early August.
Yeah, and there's yeah, yeah,
Like, no one's caught him and pulled them off?
well, I don't know.
Oh. Seems like something could be done for that.
What though?
Those guys is no
Yeah,
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not deadly.
Oh,
yeah. But.
You should talk to Russell. He's got a solution to the deer problem.
Frank had a solution too. Yeah, it was about the same, so. Just didn't want to put that on my presentation. Right? Okay, and I just wanted to say thanks to Natalie and Angela for what we did with this. Thank you, that's it.
great. I have a question. Why are the deer a problem?
Right.
Well, you know, so when
Whatever.
I was going to the forum, I was like, you know, on the election forum, I was like, please don't ask me about the deer, please don't ask me about the deer. Because half the people want them culled and half the people want them to stay. I love the deer. I love the deer. I like walking, you know, down and there's a herd of them right there and they're in their yard. My husband planted 2 trees in the front and they're both dead. He didn't like them. I don't know. They're a problem.
Like, okay, we can take that offline. I just think planting daffodils and for the species that are there.
Be daffodils are beheaded as soon as they look gorgeous.
Well, no, but they're also a deterrent.
Daffodils?
Yeah.
You,
Tulips.
The deer, yes.
but the raccoons love
Yeah, the
No, I don't
raccoons.
judge.
I mean,
And I should have been not sort of so smart in my answer that the Chiroptera means hand wing, which is the proper word for the. And because of the amount of biodiversity we've had a lot of really good research done on bats in the Lillooet area and birds and all the other fishers and so on and so on. It's actually pretty cool.
There's a crazy amount of wildlife.
We might have to talk about bats at my
But we
next
live in the
sessions. And I just know a little bit more than most people, which is a lot, on bats.
I'm gonna come for a tour with you one day. Okay, thank you for that. Does anyone else have any questions? Would anyone like to move receipt of the regional moment, please? Moved by Director Birchstone, seconded by Director Mack. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. And could someone please move that we move into closed? Moved by Director Herford, seconded by Director